It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean
That's
one
right.
thing.
Welcome to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3 Expresso. It's a Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is time for the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Get involved. Thank you. Now, this morning we have Anel Jenny and the lovely chef Jenny Morris on our foodie panel, who will be standing by to answer all of your burning foodie questions. So if you have any culinary questions or conundrums, please feel free to call us live on 021 430 9881. Ladies, hello.
And hello.
What a hello.
And goeiemorgen.
Yeah, thank you, baie. Goeiemorgen. What a welcome. Always made me a little bit flushed there for a second, but it's okay. I've got a tan. You don't see it. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. We've got some great questions this morning. I'm going to kick right off with Andre Rose Kopka Krill. What a name, eh? What is a whipping cream to other cream? That's what he wants to know. Your other creams, of course, being full cream, thick cream, or double cream. That's a good, I want to know this, because whenever the wife sends me out, it's like, let's go buy some fresh cream or whipping cream. It's like, I don't know.
The thing is, whipping cream has about 48% more fat, butter fat in it.
Okay.
So it's like our Devonshire cream that we were talking about, what, 2 weeks ago or something. So it's got a much higher fat content than normal.
And that causes us to be able to whip it.
To be able to whip it and hold its shape.
Right.
Because when you stand in front of the shops these days, it's like whipping, double, normal.
There's a lot.
Like, what koop ek, you know? So the double cream I normally buy just to add to a sauce to thicken it up and like just net om 'n bietjie meer rykheid te gee.
And it doesn't split.
It doesn't split.
It doesn't split your sauce.
Yes.
Okay.
And then whipping cream is for whipping and to put on top of a cake.
But you can whip fresh cream as well. Just,
Of course you can.
You
Yes.
can. And you can use that as well.
But it goes...
We don't want it to go... Okay. We have a caller on the line quickly. Good morning. Who am I talking to? Estelle. Hello. Good morning, Estelle.
Hi, good morning, team. How are you?
There she is. Good, thank you. And how are you on this Wednesday?
Very cold.
It is chilly. It is chilly. Estelle, what's your question for our foodies?
I would like to ask the chef, with small little cakes, I get everything right. But the quickest way to make a sponge cake, I know you have to use all the ingredients, but my big cakes normally turns out to be like rusks.
Like rusks. That's not good, Estelle. That's not good.
And can I include Amazi cheese cream to give it more moisture and texture? And should I whip it before I add it to the dry ingredient?
You must, you see what the Amasi's got. It's got more fat. It's got fats. Baking is a science.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Because-
I won't somewhat easily do that. If you can find a cake with a recipe with Amazi that's been tested,
yogurt.
definitely, do use it. But I will use not the Amazi cream. I will replace, if they've got milk or a fluid, I will replace it with a plain Amazi, not with a thicker one.
Yes.
I will use a Amazi cream on top for icing, actually, with a bit of sugar through it. But the best way is to follow
Buttermilk?
the recipe, Jen.
Follow that recipe, and you're saying it's cooking like a rusk. What size are you using the correct size baking pan?
Okay, that's also
Because,
another point,
you know, if it's like that, you're going to get the lovely rise and the moisture. If it's like that, it's going to be thin and beautiful for a trifle.
A size 35.
Size 35. That's just...
Wow, but how much mixture is going into that?
I also think you must look at your temperature and hoe lank jy dit bak, for how long you bake it, and follow a very good recipe. That's what I always say, from a very reputable place.
Like Google.
No, like Expresso's website.
Yes.
Tried and tested, darling.
All right, thank you, Estelle. Well, happy baking. I hope those sponge cakes, look less as rusks, but more like a sponge cake. We have another question here. This is a very, very simple question as well, but a valid question at that. Ayesha Bogas Bloomberg wrote to us on Facebook saying, what is the best spoon to stir your cake mix? The best spoon to stir your cake mix.
What would you use?
I would use a spatula, like a big spatula.
Yeah, and I would use, of course it's thin, and I would use a metal spoon or a spatula because it's thin. The wooden spoon is very thick.
Yeah.
And also, you know the thing about a wooden spoon is that it attracts moisture. And so whatever you've cooked with it before, whether it's garlic or a soup, you're going to get that into your cake as well. But like Anel says, a nice thin spatula or a spoon, because you don't want to break up when you whip your flour, your eggs, and your butter.
Yes.
You're putting air into your cake, so you don't want to beat it out.
Yeah, and I think if you've got like a spatula or a thin spoon, metal spoon, you need to have that folding action.
Yeah.
Dit is nie 'n geklitsery, so a folding action to get and to keep the light inside. A wooden spoon sal ek eerder gebruik om fudge te maak en om weet seker waar jy goed klop. Or
En om pak slaag te gee.
you know, like you did yesterday, to butter the cream and the sugar. Dit is 'n wooden spoon.
Yes,
Verstaan
yes,
jy?
yes.
Or
Okay.
muffins.
Yeah,
Something
muffins.
chunky.
I had
and
no
yummy.
idea there's going to be this much conversation around what spoon. All right, listen. Another question we have here from Rian Madeleine, also a Facebook question coming through. How do I bake a flat cake without it bulging in the middle? And we see this problem coming out quite often.
Well, do you want to go?
No, you
first?
can go first.
Okay. You know what happens when you're baking? Remember, the cake cooks from the outside to the in.
Yeah.
And often, oven temperatures, it might say like 180 in a cake. I would actually turn it down by 10 degrees.
Lower and slower.
Lower and, oh, hello, lower and slower.
Lower and
Darling, that's
slower.
the best advice.
We are still
Lower
in a
and
cooking
slower.
segment,
Of course
aren't we?
we are.
Yeah. Okay, just checking.
No, but what she's saying is absolutely 10,000% correct.
Yeah.
Because it cooks from the outside in, and what happens is, then that's when it peaks.
Yeah.
And starts
Oh, I
giving you
see,
that.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, so lower and slower.
Yeah, it's like a lower temperature, 160, and a bit longer. So instead of baking it for 20 minutes, you're baking it for like 35 minutes or so. That's where this lower and slower comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
And then another thing you can do is, and I know it sounds ridiculous, is it's because the heat of the pan, dit word te vinnig warm. So it cooks from the outside. So what you can do is put a lappie, sny 'n lappie, verbande werk baie goed.
Really?
And you put it on the outside of your tin and you fasten it. And it actually insulates the tin so that it meer 'n eweredige bak is. So that will
she's
also help.
Like normal bandage. Like
Yes, you can bandage gebruik, but you actually buy stuff that you can actually put around your tin. Yeah.
And
interesting.
and now when you're doing Christmas cakes, the fruit cakes, sometimes the Tannies used to bake it in a cardboard box, a wet cardboard box,
That's
for
it.
that very reason, so it could go lower and
Interesting.
slower.
Hey, listen, we have a very quick caller on the line,
Yeah.
Louise. Hi, Louise.
Hi.
Hello, Louise.
What's your question?
Hi. I want to make an apple tart, but I want to know, can I use the tennis biscuit crust or must I do a baked crust?
Use that.
I think it all depends what type of tart you make. I would prefer baked crust, actually, you know, a gewone baked crust. But I think if you do like a quick one, a crumble, then you can do the tennis biscuit.
Yes, you can. And if you want to sort of line it like a fridge tart and bake it, cook the apples first.
Yeah, definitely.
Because otherwise that's going to be cinders, darling. It'll be
Right.
a Cinderella tart.
The Cinderella tart. Delicious, but it's going to be Cinderella tart.
yes.
Thank you, guys. We're going to be back with our foodie experts. 0214309881. That is the number. We'll be back with these two lovely ladies in just a bit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean
Welcome back to it. It's the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Here we go, answering all those burning foodie questions. We've got the lovely Jenny Morris and Anel Potgieter in the kitchen this morning answering all those questions. 0214309881. That is the number to dial. Ladies, you guys are phenomenal. So good to hang out with you. All right, let's get into the questions. We got a lovely one here from Glodia Markgraaf. All right, on Facebook, she said, "What do I do if my food is too salty?" Can I take a guess?
Yes.
Potatoes.
Yes.
Really?
Bread.
You're right.
If
Okay.
you haven't got potatoes in the house, I've just cut some thick bread, just lay it on the top. You are going to lose a little bit of your sauce, but then you can just reinforce it with a bit of, not stock, because stock is obviously
Okay, so this is obviously when you're preparing it, but I don't know, she didn't specify, but what if you're done
Yes.
and you've dished your food and you taste and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, hang on.
too late. It's too late at that point.
Yeah, what I will do, I will just quietly put a few lemons on the table and tell them, please squeeze a bit of lemon
right.
over it. Because
does.
you've got your flavors are sour, salt, sweet, and bitter.
sour, yeah.
En as jy dit balanceer, so if there's too much salt, you can always add a bit of acid and a bit of sugar. It's as crazy
does.
as that.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
It actually starts to balance it out.
Yeah.
So I will put a few lemons on the table and just tell them, please, as the recipe says, squeeze a bit of lemon on it.
It's from my Greek auntie.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
And
all right.
try and get it away. Yeah.
And then just get through it.
Just get through it. And maak asof jy niks weet.
It's fancy because you got lemons.
Yeah.
we got a call on the line. John from Durban. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you.
Good to hear from you, John. What's your question?
Man, I have a problem with the gas stove.
Okay.
I use a gas stove oven and I bake my biscuits, but the problem is that I can't get them golden brown. They're either overcooked and it's burnt at the bottom. Now, how do I remedy this lot?
Right. Okay. So gas stove, cookies don't get brown, but
I've
sometimes
got a
they
gas
burn.
oven at home
Yeah?
as well.
Tell me.
You see, your gas oven, you need to get to know your gas oven like it's your new partner. Seriously. And what I do is, in the beginning, I was hysterical. So now I turn the heat down a little bit. That's for burning. And I bake on the middle shelf. Don't go on the sides. Go on the middle shelf. But he's saying he wants the golden.
Could it be the recipe?
So it's also sometimes the recipe, like you get those Greek almond biscuits. They will never
Yes.
ever go brown because they are white cookies. It is maar net wit
We actually
cookie.
made some yesterday. Those
Yes.
crescent moon kind
Crescent
of almond.
moon,
It was
yes.
delicious.
And then you get like spicy biscuits that are brown, you know, that's got spices and mixes in it.
Yes.
Sometimes they've got brown sugar in or cacao or chocolate, so they are brown. But I think what he's struggling with is with his oven and the temperature that differs from the temperature in the book. So what I will suggest is to buy a temperature meter, a separate one that hangs there. Want ek het ook een, because things differ.
Yeah.
And make sure that it's the right temperature. And also, I think it fluctuates the heat sometimes. So partykeer moet jy die pan omdraai. You know, you
Yeah.
change the pan halfway.
And if you open the door, all the heat runs out.
I
Yeah.
see. I see.
Yes.
John, did that make sense to you?
Well, I'll try it, you know. I'll give anything back until it's sorted out.
All right. Well,
Okay.
wishing you all the best with your cookie endeavors, John. Thank you very much. All right. Next question we have here, also from Facebook, Claudia Bernarda. Interesting question. How do you make pea soup green? Wouldn't the peas kind of make it green? No.
Is she using dry peas? 'Cause
I don't
dry
know.
peas-
That's the only question we have.
No, but we had this discussion just a couple of weeks ago. If you're using dry peas already, it's army
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
That's the colour.
Or
It's
the tin
camouflage.
Jen is also like
Yes,
an army colour. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can cook everything out, get the beautiful flavour in, and then we could add some.
Spinach,
There we go.
parsley as well, a bit
Yes.
of parsley flavour.
That's it, and or some extra lovely frozen peas, and then you blitz the living life out of it, and
Yes.
it's vibrant and beautiful.
Yeah, and I think if you make a pea soup, frozen peas are a brilliant thing to
Yes.
use.
Yeah.
You know, want om vars ertjies te gaan koop, it's quite difficult these days to get them fresh unless you've got a whole garden full. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that will be fine. But frozen peas are brilliant to make, and it is like really vibey green colour.
It is, it's
Okay.
beautiful.
Yes.
And always save a few for the end, because the things do change colour with cooking.
Clever.
With
All
cooking,
right,
and
but
they
I
just blitz them in.
love the spinach and the parsley
Yes,
tip in
of
there.
course.
Okay, add the greenery. Right there, Claudia, I hope that answers your question. Good luck in making that pea soup green. One more question. Remember, you can still call us. Our lines are open, 021-430-9881. Tebogo Johannes Motwa, also via Facebook, says, are there recommended ingredients for cakes or even ones I can use to make cupcakes and muffin mixes that will work? So recommended ingredients for cakes and even ones that I can use. So interesting that you can put into your cupcakes, obviously.
Is he talking about the
I
recipe?
think
Like,
it's a mixture.
is he talking about because normally you've got your flour, your dry ingredients, a bit of
Yeah.
baking powder, a bit of salt. Then there's wet ingredients like eggs, milk, bietjie butter of
Oil.
olie. You weet,
Yeah.
That is the normal thing, and then you can add whatever you like.
Yes,
Like
but you need that all to balance out. But
Yeah.
also, I kind of thought sometimes people see a cake recipe, a big cake like a red velvet or something, and they
Yeah.
want to convert it and bring it down. And that's where the danger happens, because if you've got egg whites into it, I wouldn't use that for a cupcake, because it will collapse by the time you pull it out of your whatever. So if you're going to convert from a whole cake recipe, use something that clitzes butter and milk together, not butter, milk,
Yes.
butter and sugar,
Sugar, yes.
and sugar.
together for more structure.
Right.
In that.
All right. Well, we have another caller on the line. Good morning. Arlene.
Good morning.
Hello, Arlene.
I love the show.
Thank you very much. We love you.
You just love him.
Yeah, I think it's about
Thank you,
him.
Arlene. Thank you.
I love all of you. And Jenny, I just love you. I watch you with Dresser and...
There's so much love. There's so much
And
love.
Anel with your lovely...
You gotta love us both.
Arlene, what is your question this morning?
Okay. My question is, I always make a fillet steak in a pastry. There's a name for it, but I can't get it right
Beef
now.
Wellington.
Okay, beef Wellington.
Wellington. Thank you. And okay, I do sear the beef and then I let it rest, and then I roll it in the pastry and bake it. But when it comes out, why is the pastry wet?
You need to make like a duxelle. That's what they call it. It's a fancy word.
what?
It's duxelle.
Duxelles, mushrooms.
So it's mushrooms, very, very finely chopped mushrooms that you cook in a bit of butter on a pan. In Donna's, it passes a smear, like a paste.
Yeah.
And then you have to roll your meat in there. And if you can, put like parma ham or something around it as well, just to cover it from the pastry. Want dan gaan die pastry nie nat maak, so nat raak nie.
Exactly.
It's going to get a little bit wet, but
Yes.
not...
But you could also use the duxelle
Yeah.
if you want. That's your lovely mushroom paste, and then you wrap it in a pancake.
Oh, yes, that's the
In
other
the
one.
pancake,
Yes.
because then the pancake absorbs the juice.
Really?
So it's the barrier between that. Because mushrooms have got also very high water content, so you cook that out.
Yeah.
But a
Okay.
pancake around it.
Right, so for beef Wellington, you need to have that bit of an extra layer
the
between your
barrier,
meat and
yeah.
the
Yes.
barrier.
Yes.
Right, ladies, thank you very much. Thank you, Aileen. I really appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, have a lovely day. Thank you, lovely ladies. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
I had a question, but I'll save it for the next time, yeah. Because it's got to do with quinoa and lentils, and I want to
But
know
now
how
you've
to.
made us very curious.
We'll get into it. We'll unpack it soon because I'm trying to eat a little bit more healthy lately as
Okay.
well. But that was our culinary hotline bling, ting, 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 with these two lovely ladies. It's a Wednesday morning.